Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us for this segment, we have Will Landers, head of equities at BTG Pactual Asset Management, to discuss Latin America investing trends. Will, it's great to see you again. Welcome back to Trade Talks.
Thanks, Jill. Good to be here.
Let's talk about the rise of fintech from digital banking to brokerage platform and its role in increased retail trading.
Sure. I mean, we've seen a significant increase in everything fintech related in Brazil. It actually started more with the trading than necessarily with the digital banking. And this has been helped by the fact that with interest rates came down in Brazil so much, more and more investors look to invest in the equity market. We've seen more than a doubling in terms of number of people registered to trade stocks in Brazil, from less than 2 million folks 2 years ago to over 5 million at the end of 2021. So digital trading was the first area, but then digital banking became bigger and bigger. A recent study shows that 1 in 4 Brazilians have only a digital bank as their account, and the number continues to grow. So we've seen the traditional banks looking to have a bigger presence in their market, but also pure digital banks also becoming bigger and bigger players in the market.
So, Will, where does BTG fit in the ecosystem?
Yeah, similar. We started as providing our investors with the ability to trade stocks, bonds in a digital way. And then more recently, we launched BTG Plus, which is a full online bank. And I think different from the traditional banks in Brazil, we don't have the networks. We were always more of a wholesale investment bank type of organization. So we were able to get into the retail area in a purely digital format without having a lot of the hangups that some of the larger banks had. So that's allowed us to compete head to head with those who are purely just fintech related.
And what about the increasing demand for foreign products?
Yeah, that's been a case that we've seen in Brazil over the last couple of years. Obviously, as investors became more and more accustomed with investing in equities, they started, like in any country, investing in their local market. And the Bovespa has done well over the last couple of years in reais, not so much in dollars. But with some of the political volatility that we've seen in Brazil and the currency reacting to it, we've seen a bigger interest from investors to look for alternatives outside of Brazil. So we've seen ETFs, we've seen thematic funds. We have a partnership with Nasdaq where we've launched a semiconductors fund as well as a biotech fund, and we continue to expand our options for our investors to gain access not only to the Brazilian market but also to the foreign market.
Right. And Will, to wrap up here, how does BTG facilitate the democratization of finance through all the offerings that you have?
Yeah, when you look at our BTG Plus, our digital bank, it's one of the easiest banks to join, and it's open with no minimum account balances. So we're looking to really anybody that wants to have access to an online bank to be able to do that very easily through an app, never having to talk to a person if they don't want to. And we think that this is going to continue to be an area of big growth in Brazil.
All right. Well, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq.